In the occupied West Bank, the village of Jaba near Bethlehem is reeling from an attack carried out by Israeli settlers. The violence erupted against the backdrop of an escalating conflict that has seen tensions surge in the region since the Hamas assault on Israel in October 2023. As residents of the village assess the destruction, concerns about future rounds of violence loom large, leaving them uncertain about their safety. The aftermath of the attack is striking. Burnt-out vehicles, broken windows and damaged property lie in the wake of the settlers' actions. In the midst of the ongoing violence in the West Bank, the villagers of Jaba now face the immediate reality of a precarious existence where their homes and belongings have been targeted by those who appear to operate with impunity. One resident, Ahmed Mousa, described the night of the attack, detailing the moment when the violence descended on his community. Yesterday, we were sitting in our homes when we were surprised by a fire and stones falling on us. The situation is worrying. The settlers burned down what they burned down, destroyed what they destroyed, and then they left, Mousa recalled. His words paint a picture of a sudden, unprovoked assault that left the residents of Jaba scrambling to protect themselves and their families. The settlers, after carrying out the destruction, retreated, leaving the villagers to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. Mousa's comments highlight the feeling of abandonment and helplessness that pervades the village. No one is standing by our side. No one is protecting us, neither Jews nor Arabs nor anyone else. There is no safety. It's over. We are sitting in our homes here for no reason, he lamented. As violence in the West Bank continues to escalate, with both settlers and Palestinians caught in the cycle of violence, Jaba's residents feel vulnerable. The attack is part of a broader pattern of increasing violence against Palestinian communities in the area. Since the eruption of hostilities between Hamas and Israel, the West Bank has seen a dramatic rise in tensions. Settler violence, in particular, has been a major factor in this instability, with Palestinians in the region frequently reporting harassment, property damage, and even deadly attacks. The damage in Jaba, which includes burnt-out vehicles and destroyed property, reflects a larger problem that has plagued Palestinian villages for years. In many cases, Palestinian communities in the West Bank face not only the physical threat of settler violence, but also a lack of effective protection from Israeli authorities. As violence escalates, the Israeli government has faced increasing pressure to address the situation. However, for the people of Jaba, the silence from both Israeli authorities and the international community has left them feeling abandoned and exposed to further harm. Afifah Mohammed Ibrahim Abu Farah, a relative of one of the residents of Jaba, echoed Mousa's sentiments, expressing concern not only for her immediate safety, but for the future of her community. Our homes, our children, our cars, our situation. We're a village of 1,000 people. We're not so many. If they attack us once again, they left signs that apparently say this isn't the only round. There are other rounds to come, Abu Farah said. Her words speak to the growing fear in the village that this attack is just one in a series of violent acts designed to instill fear and undermine the safety of Palestinian communities in the West Bank. The graffiti left by the attackers, which reportedly read "revenge" in Hebrew, has added to the growing anxiety in Jaba. The symbolism of revenge suggests that this attack may be part of a larger campaign of settler violence against Palestinians. The residents of Jaba are left wondering whether further attacks will follow, and if so, how they can protect themselves from the growing threat. For the villagers, the sense of insecurity is palpable. They are acutely aware of the wider context of violence in the region, where tensions between Israeli settlers and Palestinian residents have become increasingly pronounced. As the violence spreads, the international community has watched from the sidelines, offering occasional calls for restraint, but failing to implement concrete measures to protect Palestinian civilians. The lack of security and protection for Palestinians in the West Bank has been a persistent issue for years. Human rights organizations have repeatedly documented incidents of settler violence and the inability or unwillingness of Israeli authorities to intervene in these attacks. This lack of accountability has created an environment in which settler violence continues unabated, and Palestinian communities like Jaba are left to fend for themselves. As the residents of Jaba clean up the damage from the attack, their thoughts turn to the future. How long can they endure this violence? What will happen if the attacks continue? Will they be left to defend themselves without help or protection? These are the questions that weigh heavily on the minds of those living in the village, who now find themselves caught in the crossfire of a larger political and territorial conflict. While the residents of Jaba continue to cope with the immediate aftermath of the attack, the broader implications of settler violence in the West Bank cannot be ignored. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is deeply rooted in historical, political and territorial disputes, and the violence in the West Bank is a tragic reminder of the toll this conflict takes on civilians. The ongoing cycle of violence, displacement and destruction is a constant reminder of the fragile nature of peace in the region. In the wake of this attack, the international community has once again been called to address the root causes of violence in the West Bank. Calls for an end to the expansion of Israeli settlements and for greater protection for Palestinian civilians have grown louder, but meaningful change has remained elusive. The residents of Jaba, like many other Palestinian communities, are left in a state of limbo, unsure of their future and uncertain about the prospects for peace. As the situation in Jaba continues to unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing violence in the occupied West Bank. While the residents of the village hold out hope for safety and security, the broader political realities of the region suggest that their struggles are far from over. For now, they are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, while the world watches and waits for a solution to the conflict that continues to tear the region apart. The international community must take stronger action to address the growing violence in the West Bank and ensure the protection of Palestinian civilians. The failure to do so will only perpetuate the cycle of violence and suffering that continues to affect communities like Jaba. As of now, the situation remains volatile, and the residents of Jaba, like so many others in the region, are left to navigate a dangerous and uncertain future.
يا رب يتعوضوا مسكين. يعني الواحد ما بيجيب الشاكل الا سنتين الناس قاعده. شو كيف بدك تشوف ابن اخوك واولاده في الصيف؟
Yesterday, we were sitting in our homes when we were surprised by a fire and stones falling on us. The situation is worrying. The settlers burned down what they burned down, destroyed what they destroyed, and then they left. No one is standing by our side. No one is protecting us, neither Jews nor Arabs nor anyone else. There is no safety. It's over. We are sitting in our homes here for no reason. Our homes, our children, our cars, our situation. We're a village of 1,000 people. We're not so many. If they attack us once again, they left signs that apparently say this isn't the only round. There are other rounds to come.
حسب ما فسروا يعني في كمان جولات ثانية عليكم